Hello friends, James Stevenson and Loki here, letting you know the answer to a question Loki was wondering. You probably have been wondering as well, which is, will Tesla stock price have to get back above Stephenson Indicator in order for Elon to get paid under the terms of the new compensation agreement proposed by the Tesla board that'll be voted on in November? That was a mouthful. I will dive into the answer in this video right now. Without further ado, there's no commercials. You don't have to sit through the commercials to find out. Here's the post that I made as an article on X to answer that question, titling it Elon's Next 12 Tranches versus Stephenson Indicator. Here's the chart we'll get into in a bit. I know what you're wondering. I said, turn the stock compensation in the proposed 2025 CEO Performance Award. Will Elon Musk have to get Tesla's stock price back above Stephenson Indicator? The answers, plural, are no, maybe, and yes, depending which of the 12 tranches you're interested in. I was shocked by the answers, being three different answers to this question. Why is that? I'm glad you asked. I'll dive right into it. To illustrate this complex answer graphically, I made a new Stephenson Indicator chart that for the first time projects 10 years into the future. Where will Stephenson Indicator be 10 years from now? As you doubtless already know, Stephenson Indicator began 5.5 years ago. On March 18th, 2020, at that day's closing, Tesla stock price of $24.08. And has risen by $1.69 every 3 trading days, or 56 1/3 cents per trading day since. All prices adjusted for stock splits. So this number at the time was 72.24. And this number at the time was $1.69 every day. And then Tesla had to go and do a 3-for-1 stock split, meaning that I had to divide this number by 3 to figure out how much it went up by per day, and because it didn't divide evenly into 3, it's 56 1/3 cents per day. Okay, to earn the first 2 tranches, no, Elon won't have to get the stock price back above Stephenson Indicator because Stephenson Indicator is already above those 2 market cap goals. So the way that they're stated by the board is the right way to state them in terms of market capitalization, because a bunch of stuff can happen, right? The board could authorize additional shares to be issued. Tesla might issue more stock. Stock compensation is going to keep getting paid out to Tesla employees, right? They could authorize buybacks. Buybacks could happen over the next 10 years. That's not impossible. So a bunch of stuff could happen that would change the relationship between market cap and shares outstanding, which create the stock price. The stock price is just, hey, how much at the current stock price would you need to buy the whole company, all the shares that are outstanding on this company? How much money is that? That's the market capitalization. Now, would you actually be able to buy the company at that price? No, because lots of people don't have a sell price in for their stock. So the more shares you buy, the higher the price will go, as we saw a couple of weeks ago when Elon Musk bought $1 billion worth of Tesla stock. The stock price went up a lot as the result of him doing all that buying activity, which is essentially taking shares away from the people willing to part with them for the least. That's what happens every time there's net buying of Tesla stock. The stock price goes up because the people who had the lowest sell prices on them are who lost their shares that day. All right, so if you translate the $2 trillion and $2.5 trillion market cap goals into the current stock price, which I had Grok do for me using today's share count, they equate to a $620.54 stock price and a $775.67 share price, respectively, assuming the current basic shares outstanding is calculated by Grok. When and if these 2 goals are achieved, the stock price will still be below Stephenson Indicator at that time, because Stephenson Indicator today is about $801. Just crossed $800 not that long ago. What about the maybes? Well, for tranches 3 through 10, the answer is maybe, because it depends how long it takes to achieve the market cap goals. When will it happen across the 10-year life of the compensation agreement? If it happens early, yes, the stock price will have to exceed Stephenson Indicator, but if it happens late, all the way at the end, no. So here are the market cap amounts for tranches 3 through 10. 3 trillion, 3.5 trillion, 4 trillion, 4.5 trillion, 5 trillion, 5.5 trillion, 6 trillion, 6.5 trillion, or these amounts here that would be tedious if I read them all off. You can see them on your screen. They range from $930 to $2,016. Using the same assumptions noted above, when and if these tranches are achieved, the stock price could be above or below Stephenson Indicator. By way of example, if it takes the whole 10 years to satisfy tranche 10, the stock price wouldn't necessarily have to exceed Stephenson Indicator at any time, but would need to be very close by the plan's expiration date to achieve the 10th tranche at $2,016.75. Stephenson Indicator won't be very far past that stock price, even 10 years from now. In order to earn the last two tranches, yes, the stock price will have to exceed Stephenson Indicator because Stephenson Indicator will still be less than today's equivalent stock price. For the 11th tranche's $7.5 trillion market cap requirement and the 12th tranche's $8.5 trillion market cap requirement at $2,637 per share, the final two tranches cannot be achieved without the stock price exceeding Stephenson Indicator. And if you think you've noticed that the 11th and 12th tranches are spaced a whole $1 trillion apart instead of $500 billion apart, that's true. That's what the board did. They didn't keep going with $500 billion increments on the last two tranches. They took it from the 10th tranche at $6.5 trillion up a whole $1 trillion to $7.5 trillion, and then the 12th is a whole $1 trillion higher than that at $8.5 trillion. All right. As a longtime Tesla investor, I will be voting yes for the board's proposed 2025 CEO compensation package because my retirement goals are strongly aligned with incentivizing Elon Musk to create so much investor value over the next 10 years with his team at Tesla, innovating and making great products that Tesla shares will appreciate by greater than 50 cents per day, per trading day, on average, is how Stephenson Indicator works. As a reward for reading the whole article, here's the latest Stephenson Indicator chart, and it came out in such poor quality that I actually replied to myself after this disclaimer here. Stephenson Indicator is not a stock price target, not financial or trading advice. Do your own research. Technical analysis is phrenology, is the clause I forgot to put in here. For advice tailored specifically to you and your financial goals, seek the services of a professional financial advisor acting as a fiduciary who can assess your particular situation and give you advice just for you and what's best for you for entertainment purposes only, etc. All right, so here's that comment from me. The Stephenson Indicator versus Tesla chart in the article above appeared in very low quality for some reason, so here's a higher quality version of it for you in the traditional format instead of the new format, right? So this is just telling you from March 18th of 2020 through the present day, how different has every trading day's stock price been from Stephenson Indicator, which is just, again, that $24.08 back here on March 18th, plus 56 1/3 cents per day. That's what you get. So for a couple of years there, the stock price was closing above it almost all the time, with a couple of teeny tiny dips below. And then we entered the bear market, and we've been in the dip ever since. So this is the dip. As you will see in the next chart, well, I guess I should go back to the top here real quick and show you this thing. Man, I wish there weren't an arrow on top of it like that. So I titled this Stephenson Indicator versus Actual Stock Price and 2025 CEO Performance Award Tranches. So this is the area from March of 2018 through the present day. There's a dot for every stock price, every actual stock price, every 6 months since March 18th of 2018. So that's September of 18, March of 19, September of 19, March of 20, September of 20. I'm doing this wrong. It's March 18th of 2020 here. So that's September of 2020. I'll get it right. March of 2021, September 2021, March 2022, September 2022, March 2023, September 2023, March 2024, September 2024. That's hard to say if you're following along at home. Try it. March 2025, September 2025. So that's the price as of just a couple of days ago. And from here on forward, that's where you see these dotted lines. What are the dotted lines doing? They're just holding the place for each of the 12 tranches. The one that's the hardest to see is tranche number 2. It's in green dots here that, at least for me, are very hard to pick up. But that's the way that Google Sheets decided to color all of these. And I said, fine, whatever, Google Sheets. So that I can update this chart in the future and it'll be easy to do. You can just use a query. I've explained this on previous videos before. Go watch the other videos in the Stephenson Indicator series if you want to understand where it came from, is it a joke or not, etc. And I'll close the video by showing you the combination of the two charts. The Stephenson Indicator is really just this section of the chart right here. So I tagged on one more post here. Perhaps I should have put the two charts together like this. So this is what you get if you paste over the part of the chart that has happened already, which is the March 2020. I'll get it right. Through September 2025 time period here. That's the dip. I have labeled it the dip since the stock price fell well below Stephenson Indicator. Now, anything can happen in the future. We don't know what's going to happen from here on out is the point. But what I'm showing you on the chart is if Elon wants his 12 tranches, he's going to have to get the stock price from where it is now, this green dot here, above, at minimum, this first tranche. And the second one. And then you see what I mean in all the comments that we went through. For these first two tranches, no, the stock price doesn't have to get above Stephenson Indicator. But from here through here, maybe they do and maybe they don't. It just depends when it happens across this time period from here to here. And then for these last two, yeah. The stock price will have to be above Stephenson Indicator if Elon wants to earn all 12 tranches, or even 11 out of 12. And I didn't go into it in this video because other people have gone into the compensation agreement itself. It's not just market cap goals. There's also a bunch of operational goals Elon needs to achieve. And I'm not going to remember what those are off the top of my head. So that's today's video, unless Loki has anything to add to the video at this point. He says, no thanks. He's going to keep snoozing in bed for right now. So at this point in the video, I will remind you to like the video if you liked the video. That'll help the algorithm know to recommend this video to others like you who might also like it. Thank you to everybody who supports me, especially my two executive producers, Kathy Kitchler and Rebellionaire.com, and I'll see you in the next one.